The emergency alarm blared during Myra's third cup of coffee. Medical emergency. Priority Alpha. Thrin Cubs critical. Her stomach twisted as she grabbed her medkit and sprinted toward the medical bay. The bay was a storm of controlled chaos when she arrived. 3 tiny figures lay on examination tables, silver-gray fur damp with fever sweat. Their breaths came in jagged gasps. Around them, the station's medical staff moved with a mix of precision and helpless urgency, aware that they were racing against time and likely losing. Corin loomed in the center, a mountain of grief barely restrained. His massive frame shivered as he forced himself to stay still. Amber eyes locked on each shallow inhale his cubs drew. When those eyes met Myra's, something raw and fleeting passed between them, neither hope nor despair, but the fragile edge of possibility. "You are the human medic?" he asked, voice a guttural rumble layered with vulnerability. "I am," Myra replied, already pushing past him. Her scanner whirred to life, hovering over the nearest cub. The readings made her chest tighten. 14 hours since onset, she muttered. For Thrin cubs, 14 hours was catastrophic, a lifetime in accelerated metabolism. She moved with precision from one cub to the next. Each scan confirmed the same horrifying reality. Behind her, dozens of eyes tracked her every movement, desperate for a miracle. "We've tried everything," the Alari doctor said, spreading his hands in resignation. "Standard protocols fail. Thrin physiology is unpredictable." Myra barely registered him. She was already cross-referencing symptoms, running simulations in her mind. The problem was evident. The galaxy's medical systems were built around species from temperate, predictable worlds. Earth had never been that forgiving. "It's a cytokine storm," Myra explained, fingers dancing over her scanner. "Their immune response is in overdrive. The infection started it, but now their own bodies are destroying them." Corin stepped forward, claws scraping the floor. "Can you save them?" "Maybe," she said, meeting his gaze. "But it will hurt, and I'll have to touch them constantly." The room fell silent. Thrin parents never allowed outsiders near their cubs. Touch was sacred, permission hard-won. Myra was asking the impossible. Corin held her eyes for 3 long heartbeats before stepping aside. "Do what you must." Without hesitation, Myra barked orders. Ice enough to cover major vessels, not full body, adrenaline suppressants, antihistamines, corticosteroids, 4 fluids calibrated for Thrin biology. The Alari doctor froze. "Ice, their bodies are burning, why?" "Yes, but you're treating the wrong threat," Myra snapped, already moving. "Step aside." She rolled up her sleeves and approached the first cub, a tiny female with a white-tipped ear. Heat radiated from her body in waves. Myra's hands pressed gently to her chest, feeling the rapid-fire heartbeat. "I know," she murmured softly. "I know it hurts, but you're stronger than this. Fight with me." Ice arrived in containers, and Myra applied it strategically along the cub's main blood vessels. The cub whimpered, weak cries mixing with the metallic rasp of Corin's claws digging into the deck. "Her immune system is literally cooking her," Myra muttered to herself. "We have to convince it to calm down." She administered suppressants, adjusted dosages, and spoke gently to the cub, her voice a rhythm meant to soothe and guide. "This is madness," whispered the Alari doctor, yet he couldn't look away as the fever slowly began to subside. "This is Earth medicine," Myra said without looking up. The second cub, a larger male, received the same precise treatment. Myra narrated small stories of icy rivers, of snow crunching underfoot, of Earth's stubborn sun. She didn't know if the cubs understood the words, but the tones mattered. The third cub was the smallest and most critical. His chest barely moved. Myra's hands were steady as ice packs and suppressants were applied. "Come on, little one," she urged. "You're not alone. Fight with me, not against me." For a tense moment, nothing shifted. Then, imperceptibly, the cubs' breathing deepened. Hours blurred together as Myra rotated through the 3 cubs, monitoring vitals, adjusting doses, and replacing ice. The staff assisted minimally, awestruck. Corin never moved, but his gaze never wavered from her hands. Dawn broke across the viewport when the smallest cub opened his eyes, a soft call escaping his throat. Corin was instantly over him, nuzzling the fragile body. He looked up at Myra, eyes glistening. "They will survive," she said, exhaustion finally washing over her. "Keep them stable for a day. Their immune systems need recovery time." "You've saved my cubs," Corin said, voice thick with emotion. "No debt," Myra said, packing her kit. "This is what human medics do." The Alari doctor whispered, almost in awe, "I've practiced medicine for 40 cycles. I've never witnessed such methods." "Earth teaches you to fight back," Myra said, thinking of her world of humans who never accept defeat. "Everything on Solara tries to kill you. You learn to hit back hard, even against invisible enemies." Corin watched her retreat to the door. "When others ask how my cubs survived, what should I tell them?" Myra paused, glancing back at the sleeping trio curled under their father. "Tell them a human wouldn't let them die," she said. The doors closed, leaving behind a pack leader who would never forget, medical staff questioning everything they thought they knew, and 3 cubs who would grow up hearing the story of the alien who fought fire with ice and refused to lose. Myra allowed herself a small smile. Another day, another impossible victory. Another reminder that sometimes the galaxy needed a species crazy enough to survive worlds that wanted them dead. Sometimes, the galaxy needed humans who knew how to fight.